So a lot of you guys have been asking about the Suzuki S-Presso. I myself think this is one of my favorite cars that I've ever reviewed on the channel because of its cute looks, but it has this macho appeal, macho energy, despite its small dimensions. It's got a small engine as well, and it really helps out that it looks so cute, but is really fuel efficient, and of course, versatile and practical. But there's one thing that's holding it back from being a true mainstream success, and that's the lack of an automatic transmission. But all that's changed with the introduction of the Suzuki S-Presso AGS. AGS means automated gear shift, so you get the benefits of driving a manual transmission, but the comfort and convenience of an automatic. So guess what we're gonna do, guys? Now, I know you guys have been asking if this car or that car can reach Baguio or whatnot. Well, this review is going to be special because we'll be taking the Suzuki S-Presso AGS all the way up to Baguio and back, and I'm going to tell you all about it. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here for Zigwheels.Ph, and yes, welcome to our drive review of the Suzuki S-Presso AGS. So as you can see, not much has changed in the exterior of the Suzuki S-Presso. It still has the same cute front face right here that has this squarish design. This time around, the Suzuki S-Presso has these alloy wheels as standard. Those are 14-inch alloy wheels all around, and you have disc brakes here in the front and drum brakes in the back. So inside the Suzuki S-Presso, as you can see here, this is where we see all of the changes. The steering wheel is still non-adjustable, but this time around you got these buttons on it. You got the buttons to control your media, you got your call buttons right there, and you've got a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system, this time with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. Now you still have these two buttons right here on the dashboard to control your front windows. Those are power windows there, but on the back you still have your windy windows. You have two speakers. Two speakers is really all you need in this small car, as well as this center mounted gauge cluster. Now, this 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system is a real infotainment system because it doesn't just hook up to your phone for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, because you can actually see a lot of the your car's details right there. Fuel economy and all that. This is definitely amazing. You got your manual AC control switch, again is the same as the manual S-Presso, and the biggest, most important change here, this is the AGS system here. This is basically a manual control system. It's just that the actuator underneath there that controls the transmission is automatic. The seats are nice and firm. They're non-adjustable for height. You can go ahead and tilt them, slide them forward and back. There's no center armrest to speak of, which is sad, but again, this is definitely par for the S-Presso. The previous S-Presso, the non-AGS one, did not have an armrest as well, so that's fine. The beauty about the Suzuki S-Presso is that even though it's a small car, it's really easy to get into despite the 180mm ground clearance. So all you gotta do is open the door and then slide inside. Basically just sit inside. So like this, I'm gonna show you. Basically just sit inside, and that's the beauty about Suzuki cars, especially the S-Presso. Let's take a look at the back and see what's there. All right, so right here at the back seat, you still have a lot of space. I gotta say, you have a lot of space to work with. You got these windy windows, by the way. See how I wind them down, up and down like this? Doing it old school, yes. And it's even roomier up here, back here instead of the front. You have a lot of room for my feet and my legs. There's no center armrest. Of course, the front passenger doesn't get center armrest. The rear passenger definitely would not get center armrest. No soft touch materials at all right here, except for the seats. There's no USB port. There's no 12-volt socket. No frills. All chills. All right, so that's all we got to say about this. Right now, we're actually preparing for the drive, heading up to the Baguio. So as you can see, Suzuki actually taped down these the gas filler right here, the gas filler tank, so that we're actually going to check out the fuel efficiency of the Suzuki S-Presso. I know you guys are interested about how that works. I am myself too, and yeah, let's take this out for a spin. All right, so we're behind the wheel of the new Suzuki S-Presso with AGS. AGS, of course, means auto gear shift. Auto gear shift gives you the benefits of driving a manual transmission, which is of course increased in great fuel economy, plus the conveniences of driving an automatic. So you don't have to shift any gears, it does the shifting for you. And I think that's what everyone's been waiting for when it comes to the Suzuki S-Presso anyway. A lot of people have been asking for and clamoring for an automatic transmission for the Suzuki S-Presso, and Suzuki Philippines has answered back. Alright, so under the hood you've got an updated 1-liter 3-cylinder naturally aspirated engine that makes 67 horsepower and 90 Newton meters torque. All the power goes to the front wheels via that AGS system. The power delivery is definitely adequate, question mark, because the S-Presso wasn't really meant for full-on speed, full-on acceleration. It is a city car that's meant to bring you from point A to point B, but we're doing something different today. We're sending this to Baguio. That's right, we're answering the age-old question, can blank reach Baguio? Kaya ba niya talagang umabot ng Baguio? Well, we're gonna answer your questions right now in this car. Even though we had some traffic, we still was able to get 9.7 kilometers per liter. That's right, 9.7 kilometers per liter in heavy traffic. What other car, aside from a hybrid, can get you that much fuel economy? Now, let me talk to you about the driving dynamics of the S-Presso. It feels light on its feet, both in a good way and in a bad way, because it's so light that you can definitely just chuck it around, squeeze through tight city traffic and all that, but it's also so light that there could be a lot of trucks, a lot of buses that's gonna trade their crosswinds to you, and you're definitely gonna feel it. Now let's talk about that AGS system. AGS, like I said earlier, stands for auto gear shift. What it is that it's not really a full-on automatic. Underneath the hood, you've got the components for a manual transmission, but there's going to be an actuator that does the shifting for you. Now, in the city, it might seem a little bit too unsure of itself when you're riding, but cruising like this, being in 5th gear, it works really fine. So now we're almost in Baguio. Right now, we're going through the zigzag roads, and I'm glad that the Suzuki S-Presso does have this hill hold assist that actually keeps the car still for at least 2 seconds before it starts rolling down. So that's our drive of the Suzuki S-Presso AGS all the way from Manila here in our destination in Baguio. And as you can see, the fuel tank is just half full, half empty, no matter how way you see it. And that's nothing short of amazing, especially for a car with a small fuel tank like this. I'm excited to know what our fuel economy is, but from what I can see on the gauges right there, it says that to get to Baguio, going all the way up, combined city driving, and of course with all that uphill climbs right there, you were able to get around 60 kilometers per liter right there, mixed driving, and that's nothing short of amazing. I wonder how it stacks up with the other cars in the competition. We'll be checking back with you on that later on. But hey, thanks so much for watching. If you're thinking about heading over to Baguio with the Suzuki S-Presso AGS or with any other vehicle for that matter, drop me a comment in the comment section down below, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you wouldn't miss any of our videos. This is Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.